anybody is tuned in so far, you've just watched me sit here. Hey, that actually doesn't look too bad. Looks like it's about the right height, I guess. We'll see here in a second. I mean, you see a lot of this. You probably want to see more of that. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Got volume. All right, guys. So we'll just wait for a few people to jump on here. It's going to be a short show today, so chime in the chat, sound off, tell us who you are. If you have any questions about the stuff we're going to be talking about tonight, I say we as though I've got people with me. It's just me. It's just going to be a short episode, not really doing too much tonight. Just got an emergency call. I've got a little family problem here, so we're going to have to drive ourselves down to Virginia from Hamden, Connecticut. It's quite a drive. So we're going to be leaving early tomorrow morning. So didn't want to have Krista come down and then have to be all late. So we'll just jump through a few things. Hey, we got 5 people watching. Again, guys, do like, share, and subscribe. We actually, Wednesday night, we're going to be doing a show, Krista and myself. We're going to announce a couple big things. So do tune in for that. And if we get 15 people, we'll do a giveaway. Hopefully I can actually get off my ass and ship these things. Actually, that's actually not the issue. But yeah. So we got 5 people on. Again, sound off in the chat. Tell us what you are into right now. We'll just jump right in. Yeah, we got new internet, and we put the router in a really good spot. So hopefully, we're gonna have a lot less technical difficulties when it comes to connection, which will be good for our next step here that we're gonna be taking on 5 Live. So, got a couple things. I'm not gonna really tag up the video. I don't know who the hell cares. We'll do that later. A friend of mine, actually, Gingerbeard, who takes care of our Twitter and is also a fellow toy nerd. He was one of the winners of our 5 Live Toy Picks contest. He has a brother, and that brother just recently got into Pops. I'm like, what a show! So it's actually kind of good. We'll do it. You can see a little bit of Pop Wall. Framing wise, over here we got some of my VHS, random VHS collection. So what? Here you go. Quick question. What was your favorite VHS tape? I've been listening to a lot of How Did This Get Made, and one thing that June Diane Raphael talks a lot about is that, and she's my age. When she was a kid, it was such a pleasure to watch a movie that you didn't care if you were watching the same movie over and over again. So, what was the movie that you used to watch over and over again? For me, it was Big Trouble in Little China. Probably watched a million times, and a NBC viewing of the Star Wars trilogy with commercials and everything. I wore that tape out and then eventually was able to get real copies of it. So, yeah, man, I played the hell out of Goonies too. Definitely. The Goonies I had going back to NBC was a NBC showing of it, and it had the octopus in it. So then later on, getting a copy of it, I think it was the early '90s. They did a collector's edition. It was like a 10-year anniversary or something like that. And the octopus scene was taken out. So that was kind of weird because then at the end of the movie they would talk about, oh, and then a big giant octopus came. You go, well, there's no frame of reference here because you took out the octopus. So let me just move this computer here in front of me a little bit better. There we go. All right, so we'll jump on to a figure that I think actually is pretty awesome, and the price just jumped on. So I guess the collector's watch if you can get out there and find these. If you're wanting to flip figures or however you decide to do what you do, the Sabine Wren figure from Star Wars Black. It's number 33 in the line. I grabbed a few of these myself. I love the Mandalorians quite a bit, so for me this was an absolute must buy. And I just kind of kept buying them, and then I had a friend buy me one, and another friend bought me one, so I found myself with 5 of these. Awesome, just awesome. So if you get a chance, I mean, it's a perfect example of how to make a female figure. They did a really good job on the hips. Sometimes the ball joints can either make it look like they have like some kind of hip dysplasia, or just very frumpy. The other route is to take the McFarlane route, and that's to kind of cover the whole area, and then it just looks like sticks. It's like a little Mr. Mr. Peanut almost. This is the perfect medium right here. This is it. So definitely get out there and pick that up. They've been doing a really good job on the Marvel Legends stuff also. Um, hey, what's going on? We got Arson Brother Ninja. We had a little scare with him this week. Got a little nervous. We will be down at the West Virginia Championship Wrestling's Miracle at the Mountain. 8 is going to be awesome. We're going to join the Arson Brothers, Chris and I. We're going to check out what they're doing down there. That card looks awesome. It's getting better by the day. We're going to see Emma and I think it was Ricky Morton. So that's really, really great. Martin and I will be going to check out Lucha next week on the 20th here in Waterbury. NEW is presenting a Lucha night, and then the following night they have another event, both with Flip Gordon. So really excited to see that. If you're a wrestling fan, NEW's been putting out a pretty solid product, and they have Flip Gordon, who's pretty huge, jumping between NJPW and ROH. So jump off of wrestling now. Back into the toys. I did find, and I mentioned this before and never brought it down. I am trying to get pops for this wall. There is quite a few pops up here. So the ones that are turned sideways here are actually, they're empty. So these are the ones that are out, be it displayed or Baby T's playing with them. That one in particular, the Data, that's Baby T's. So she brings that in the bathtub and whatnot. So I try to get the boxes if I can for like $1 a piece, just for the boxes. Pretty nice. Very rarely do you find this. So if I ever find a pop for under $3, I absolutely get it. So for $2, I picked up this Korg from Thor Ragnarok. It's actually a really cool pop. I really do dig it, but for $2 you can't beat it. It was at Walmart on the clearance. Walmart just had a huge clearance and blowout with the Star Wars Black figures, I believe it was. And Target had done something too, but from my understanding, Walmart had accidentally marked all the Star Wars Black into clearance at $5, and it was even the brand new Han Solo stuff was selling at $5. So you kind of had to catch this weird anomaly. All the groups blew up with it. All the hardcore collectors is one that I'm part of, and a few other local groups were really on top. And obviously the Star Wars Black group, those dudes went nuts. Just seeing guys' hauls, and they've got like 40 and 50 figures just clearing out full shelves, because how could you not at $5 per figure? Hey, what's going on, Krizza? Krizza is in the chat. That is Chris D. So Krizza actually, oh, awesome. Hey, Martin's in there too. So Krizza actually has a Japan crate. He also has a the Dragon Ball Z Fusion Pop. So we're gonna have some pretty awesome stuff here coming up on the show. One piece that I picked up, and I don't remember if I got it at that PopCon that we went to in New Jersey or exactly when I grabbed this. But it is from the new Ready Player One. I don't care how we got this thing, that we got it, and it is the Iron Giant Pop. I think this thing is so awesome. I love Stefan Frank quite a bit, so this is just amazing to get. Such a cool piece, and we always talk about the unique body. They did a really good job actually of kind of going back to that basic body of just standing, but with the mechanics it looks so great. The head was always really big to begin with, so it really does have just a cool look. This may come out of the package, we'll see. Trying to get some more Back to the Future stuff. Did just realize that accidental collections, which we'll talk about here in a second, when you realize you've bought a certain amount of something and you've crossed the line from, oh, I bought one or two of something, to, oh shit, I think I collect this thing. For me, that was actually Back to the Future. Back to the Future has always been one of my favorite movies. I put it up in my top 5. 1, 2, and 3. I'll take them all together. It's fine. I've worked on the license in the past when I had worked at Art Asylum way back in the day. Krista had actually talked about that. Christy, that's how my Pop DVC collection started. Yeah, man. That's what happens, dude. Be nice if the Iron Giant was big pop. Like, yeah, if they did it in the 6-inch pop, would have been a really nice example. Or even as a rides, using this as kind of a little bit of a reference. I think if they did it where the character from the movie, and then maybe this giant one. I don't know. Although, truthfully, the if you guys haven't seen it yet, or I think 2 episodes ago, maybe last episode, live episode, Chris had pulled out the Hulkbuster, the new Hulkbuster pop. We do have it here in the arcade. I'll grab it there in just a moment. Um, yeah, man, it's all snowballing. It's what Martin's saying, that he started this way with Marvel Legends. You just start getting discounts, and you find these things, and then you realize, oh shit, look how many things I got. So for me, that's Back to the Future. Um, I have the so far the three of the sideshow figures. They're gorgeous. They're well Hot Toys. Uh, they're just still in the box, so they it kills me because they shipped. So you get the box, which is always this pristine, really cool looking box, and it ships within a box with ships inside of a box. So as a sealed collector on occasion, that's so hard for me to open. I kind of wish they did it like Amazon, and it was just a box within a much bigger box, because it just makes you kind of want to open it. This, it's a perfect wrap thing, so it's kind of hard for me to open. The guys make fun of me for it all the time, but I love it. It looks great. It's so dumb, but eventually I will open them. But yeah, I ended up getting those Playmobil figures, then the Back to the Future figures that I had worked on for the mini mates, and some other figures, and then I start realizing, like, I have the Lego, some of the Lego pieces. Yeah, you just then realize that you've gone a little bit too far. And that's me. So right now I have to. We're gonna be Chris and I are gonna be reorganizing all of the cabinets here pretty soon. All the shelving, relighting it, and putting some new graphics in there. So we'll see here pretty soon what comes out of it. But I have a feeling I have a full Detolf's case worth of displayable figures. So what collections have you guys accidentally fallen ass backwards into? Much like Kriza with Pops, Martin with Marvel Legends, myself with Back to the Future. Kind of also happened with Power Rangers. It kind of something I always liked, and it just I didn't realize it until I was sitting in 50 pounds of it. So let's see. Oh, going to the next one is to say accidental collections. Chewbacca. I didn't realize I've got probably a good 25 Chewbacca figures in different scales, be it the furry 12-inch all the way down to uh, little ones that you would get inside of like chocolate ball things. Just so many weird things, stuff that I picked up at Toy Tokyo. And then actually, what made me kind of think of it is Kriza had recently picked up this. It's the Chewbacca and the ATST, and I absolutely love this. I love the ATST. Another one. Just realized I've got 10 ATSTs, so this was number 10. Um, Now, do I count it as about 25 Chewbaccas or 25 and a half, considering that Kriza ripped the head off of that one mystery mini and then blamed it on my daughter? Hmm. Yeah, the Alexa. That's really funny. The Alexa Bliss and Harley Quinn collection that we actually started to amass down here in the arcade, all in the efforts to burn Martin. We really have probably four Alexa Bliss action figures, three Harley Quinns, and then like six of those mystery mini Harley Quinns. Oh my God, we just came up with so many of them. Yeah, Gingerbeard. He's saying he's got tons of Wonder Man figures, and actually I can attest to that. We were roommates. The man loves Wonder Man. I never thought there was a fan like that. There you are, fan of Simon. So, but yeah, this thing is awesome. If you get a chance to go out and grab it, it's the new rides. I think they're retailing at I don't know where the box is at. I think they're retailing somewhere around $15. I think maybe 20. Either way, absolutely worth it. Oh, awesome! Ninja saying that he just picked up the Gizmo and Beetlejuice Funko Pops. I definitely want that Beetlejuice. One of my most fondest stories, Disney memories, is actually chilling out with a friend. His name's Tim Bojanowski. Actually, keep an eye out at Diana Drive. Uh, they are putting out a new album soon. It's the ex members of Novus Day. It's a local band here in New England. They have started a new band. It is superior to the old band. I really am enjoying it. But we get to go on vacation every now and then together, and one of the years we got to watch Beetlejuice, and it was really fun. We had a really good night out. We had a great dinner. It's a big guys trip for spring training, and we were basically just chilling at this pool bar, and we're flipping around on the channel, and it comes up to Beetlejuice, and we just chilled by the pool and watched Beetlejuice. As dumb as that sounds, amazing, and I'll always remember Beetlejuice because of it. Um, I actually this year downloaded it on my iPad. We were way too tired this year to watch Beetlejuice, but it was ready. Should we have wanted it? $24.99. All right, so Martin's saying $24.99 for that Chewbacca pop. Definitely worth it. See, even at $24.99, I think the ATST, the quality of it is actually pretty awesome. Even if taking customer, I say talk about this now that Chris is not here. Even if you were to pop the, no pun intended, pop this off, get the Chewbacca off there, it's a really detailed piece. And a little stylized. I like how it's a little stumpy. The detail's still intact. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting a dry brush over this thing. Put a little bit of damage on it. It looks really, really good. Jeez, the more I look at this thing, the more I like it. Oh wow, actually has some pretty decent detail if you get down under here. And that's one thing that we were saying that we really enjoy about Pop lately is that they've done a really, really great job of kind of stepping up from the original, just this stance to this more intricate stuff. I absolutely love it. So it's funny here, Jamie Marshall here, Ninja. One thing he is not mentioning is his insane Ultimate Warrior collection. It is absolutely every time the guy puts something up, it's like, damn man, just keeps going deeper and deeper. So another piece actually that we've talked about a lot recently on the show that if anybody hasn't picked it up yet, get out there and get these things. They're only $10 a piece at GameStop, and it's just a great figure, especially if you want to do customizing. There's a great community based around this in the Glyos community. If you haven't checked out Glyos, that's Glyos. Definitely go out and check it out. It's a joint system that is a universal joint system shared between a bunch of different toy lines. There's the base Glyos line. Then you also have the Fallout line made by Mega Merge and Just Toys International. You've got Power Lords, which involves the Four Horsemen. There's so many different ones. There's Skeleton Lords or Skeleton Warriors, which is just so. Oh, I want all of them. They are very expensive, however, at this point. But these ones right now aren't. So here's a really good spot to jump in. And that is the Fallout Vault-Tec. You're going to end up getting 4 of them. They are the power armors. So this is the T60 labeled as number 1 here. Let's see if we can get good light. Sorry guys, I did not set up all the lights here tonight. We're really kind of in it. Maybe if I tilt it like that, maybe that's better. There you go. But yeah, check them out on their website. Like I'm saying, $9.95 each. Now, what's awesome about this, and this is what I really love about this in general, the idea behind the Fallout figures is that, well, the power armors, is that you can kind of interchange these pieces to make the better armor for you within the game. And with the Glyos system, you can do that you can take off the shoulder pads, and then it's the upper section, the lower section. You have a gun. The legs are usually all one piece. I think the T51 is the only one that the leg pops in half. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Your secret's out. I outed you, Jamie Marshall. So, but yeah, so this is the T60. We also have the T45, which actually reminds me a lot of an old Cyberman from Doctor Who. So now recently I've actually been doing some work with Mega Merge, Jesse and the gang, doing some ideas that'll be hopefully coming down the pipe here a little bit later. I really hope so, because I just want everybody to see some of this stuff. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is one of those days where it's not a job if you're having fun. So I've been not working, I guess. So this is number 4. This is the X1 armor. Now this is another one that has these solid legs. But what I actually really do like about this one, and this will help to apply to some of the other Knights of the Slice, and if you're trying to kind of cross over some of these, This one has a, well, I guess what effectively works out to be a pauldron, or shoulder pads. The whole piece goes over. So you would pop the head off, place this piece of shoulder pads over on the top, and then replace the head. I think this will look really awesome with the knight sitting underneath it. There are some joint problems, meaning on some of the legs, if you have the two-piece leg, normally a Knight of the Slice, and a lot of these have a thigh, and then from the knee down, that'll be a separate piece where it'll break. Usually that is going to be a, let me see if I'm remembering this correctly. The foot portion is going to be a male Glyos joint, and then on the thigh, the under the knee is going to be a female Glyos joint. These mega mergers are the other way around. So the only way to really fix that is, and I think in the Glyos store and in some of the drops Jesse's doing and Knights of the Slice, you're getting the double-sided Glyos joint so that you can fix that issue. So keep an eye out for that. Check out Toy Pizza, the Knights of the Slice group, and any of the Glyos groups. I've seen these before. They're little green ones. They're really, really worth it. All right, so, and, oh, the last one, my favorite of the bunch. I think this is kind of the atypical, when you think of a power armor, this is the one you think of. It's the T51. We'll actually open this one up so you can see it a little bit better with a live unboxing here. So what I actually do like about this too is that they don't really wrap it. They don't. It's not like tape down. Everything's not crazy inside of this. You can really get to the figure pretty quick. I know that sounds like such a stupid feature, but lately I have to have my knife out and I've got to have some snips to just get any freaking figure out of the package. It's killing me. So this is the figure here. He's only got one of the arms on because the other arm is inside. I love this figure. This is the one you're going to see a lot of people doing. You know what it is? That's what it is. There we go. That's why. All right. Boom, way better. All right, cool. So this is the T51. Like I was saying, this is the one that you're probably going to think of more times than not. T51 is also, this is what I was saying. So you can see the bottom leg portion is a female joint, whereas the Knights of the Slice is going to be the other way around. Skeleton Lords, any of these are going to usually be the other way around. Definitely look for the Power Lords, guys. They are so awesome. Corn Boy back in, geez, so many episodes ago talks about that line, saying how much he loved it and how many things there are hopefully down the pipe for it. The issue had been the plates that they used for the Glyos joint. Because it's such like a family thing, they were being used for other Glyos figures, so we have to kind of wait till those plates come back around. So fingers crossed. Does anybody here in the chat collect Glyos? Because I got to tell you, the deeper and deeper I go, and this is more than just kind of being involved with it. I love this line. I think it's everything that toys are supposed to be. Kriza, not quite the fan of the customization of it, but hey, can't win them all. And, you know, so, all right, I don't know if anybody here is from around this particular area. I'll be heading to the Alexandria area of Virginia. Any cool toy stores? Anything I should be checking out while I'm down there? I mean, where it's going to be very, very brief at best. I mean, even a fancy Target. Somewhere for toys, guys. And the chat says nothing, you bunch of jerks. So yeah, this is him with his other arm on. I just recently did a few, like I was saying, for the company. Hopefully we get to see those in person. I was able to show those to Martin and Kriza, but I can't really show them to too many other people, guys. I'm sorry. Charlottesville. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, jeez. Whatever. What a jerk. Yeah, gee, I don't have very good. Charlottesville isn't exactly sounding like a place that's got a good toy shop in it, so we'll see. Sorry, guys. So, one thing I wanted to talk about briefly here, Sega Genesis Retro. This, I don't know if this was a tease. I saw it on Reddit this morning. If anybody knows more about this, please do give me some info here in the chat. But I did see Yeah, it was like a small version of Genesis. Now the issue that I kind of have with this, and I don't really know to call it an issue, is that we've already seen a Genesis retro. They've kind of been doing that for a while, where it's a small system. It's probably about roughly that big, which is probably 7 by 7, and you can play cartridges in it. It'll take a 32X. It'll take all of the things. They've really compressed the thing. And it comes with like 28 games built in or something to that effect. It says 88, but it's all those stupid games like when they go, oh, it's Ball Bumper, and it's just Pong, and then they call that a game. So, but I think there was like Sonic was in there, and there was a few other games in there. If you guys have seen what I'm talking about, I always see it pop up at like Walgreens. It's one of those things you see right around Christmas time. We had briefly been talking about a deal, actually a little behind the scenes stuff, maybe doing something. We'll see. That's the most I can say about that. But I really do hope we could do some cool stuff in the future. Um, yeah, that's all I can say without getting in trouble, I think. Any toy lines, everybody? Yeah, exactly. Martin saying that Sega announced it, but there's very little info. And Chris is saying it's only going to be released in Japan, so that's very interesting. I could see them bringing that around maybe early third quarter or early fourth quarter, mid October-ish, just like they do. It seemed like what they did with. Well, no, I guess they made the big announcement with the SNES Retro right around the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then it didn't come out until I think it was February or March. It was a while, if I'm remembering this correctly. Maybe I got my dates wrong. Was that October? It was October. I'm wrong. Because now I'm remembering it was the year we got to hang out with Thousand Toys guys. Where Chris and Martin and I got to meet them. So, what collections are you guys currently into? Leave it in the chat. We got 7 people on. Do like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, exactly. They were emulators. That was the problem. So Martin's saying that PowerA made these smaller ones, but their emulation and the sound was awful. That was actually a really big deal on those things. The sound was terrible because it was just a ported emulator as opposed to the actual game. That was one thing that's really nice about the SNES Retro and the NES Retros. It seems like they really put the effort in to making sure it wasn't just some emulator. It had latency issues. Suck it, Kreza. Jerk. Just for... It really was. Martin saying in the chat here that the sound was such a selling point for the Genesis. I remember when the Moonwalker game came out, and I put the headphones on, plugged right into the front of the Genesis, and it had the volume port because the sound was such a big deal. So, yeah, to really dumb that down is just to really take away from the whole thing. Yeah, Mommy T and I realized today that actually last week, Baby T, we said get in the bath, get your Peppa Pig figures, and she really brought every Peppa Pig figure and then lined them up on the bath, the sill of the bathtub. It felt like all of the Peppa Pig figures were wrong. I found like 10 new sets today apparently. So Jazzwares, I mean, come on, man, come on, guys, what's going on? It's too much. No, Martin, it's pretty rad. I gotta tell you, it's pretty rad. I think we seriously have 7 or 8 Peppa Pigs, like the actual proper Peppa Pig. Which, not apropos of nothing, it actually has a base. Next year, as the holidays roll around, if you are a nerd parent and your child does get into Peppa Pig, or if you basically have a girl who's now maybe 18 months old or so, they're going to like Peppa Pig come Christmas. Check out the Peppa Pig Advent Calendar. It was one of the best deals we had gotten all Christmas. Target had did a sale on them as they do every year. I think it was like 20% off. Came out to just over $30. I think we got 18 figures. What was it? It was a big Advent calendar. It was like 31 pieces, I think. Yeah, it was like 18 figures and then some diorama pieces. There was Christmas trees, there was paint easels, there was presents, there was sleds, there was all this stuff. That said, my daughter absolutely went nuts for this thing. It was such a well spent $30. Even if you just go nuts and open them all at once, we were there for an hour to an hour and a half of playtime, and then she had all these great figures going into Christmas. So definitely check that out. They start dropping advent calendars going back to that October date, somewhere like late October usually. Um, yeah, there were snowmen, there was bikes, there was a Christmas tree. Yeah, it was really really good. Another thing we actually recently found for any diorama builders, and they're really weird, so you kind of got to catch the right ones. It was in the Walmart clearance. They were $1 a pack. Um, it looked like a little storybook. They were Disney storybook pieces. One of them was a Minnie's Boutique. One of them was Belle's Dinner or something like that. And I can't remember what the third one was. But it would be one of them was a cake on a stand where a piece of cake comes out. And it looked really good. Another was some teacups. Another was some tumblers. There was a teapot. There was a little table. So there's all these little diorama pieces at $1 a piece. Even if you only get one piece, that's absolutely worth it because that stuff gets so expensive. So, yeah, Mommy T's talking about the Trolls Advent Calendar. Definitely not worth it. There's the Trolls blind bags, which I believe we opened, God, a while back on the live shows in like maybe our first 5 episodes. Um, they're the troll blind bags, and it's these little tiny trolls with the furry hair and whatnot. Those usually go for about $3 a piece. They did an advent calendar at $20. You only got, I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 trolls and then some little pieces. She enjoyed opening it, and we really stuck to the day by day of it. But it was nowhere near the bang for the buck that the Peppa Pig was. Same with any of the Lego ones. The Lego Star Wars ones, I think you get like 5 or 6 um, minifigures. This year there was a Sabine Wren. There's always at least 1 or 2 stormtroopers. There's this year was a BB-8 on a snowboard with a Santa hat. Before it was Chewbacca. There was a Yoda with the Santa hat. So there's always something really good going on with those. But again, wait until Target does their deal, because the other part is there's very rarely does Lego go on sale. So you got to really take advantage of that whenever you get it. All right, so hey, we got 8 on. We have people coming in and out. Really awesome. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Tell us what collections you're into. Probably going to wrap this up here in about 15 minutes or so. So definitely get it out there as to what you guys are doing. What are you watching? Right now, we were actually without internet for 2 days. It was the weirdest. It felt like 1993 in my house. We had no cable and no internet, and we were depending on the data of our phones and watching like Blu-rays and stuff like that. Felt really, really weird. It was kind of awful. I gotta tell you, you don't realize how much you need that internet. But we did get new internet, so that's why you're probably seeing very little to no latency right now. Yeah, that's right. I'm getting hard on latency. Yeah, NXT's been really awesome. Martin saying here in the chat, I actually just told our friend Ryan he's saying he's watching SmackDown and it sucked. I went, that's because you have to watch NXT. Told him, I understand, I sound like a broken record here, but it is the superior product. Ooh, what's in here? So, we have a pile of loot crates. Nope, these are nothing. We have like this mountain of old loot crates, and the stuff that we didn't like is kind of just piled in there. So we'll actually see what we do with that stuff. Yeah, new Lost in Space looks really good. I've heard some good stuff. I've heard some bad stuff. I've heard the first episode is good, and then it drags, and then it picks up. That's a Netflix show. I believe in the past, and we've talked about this on old episodes, that with Netflix you don't know if you're going to get a second season, so they kind of have to catch you on the first episode, build a lot of character stuff in the next 2 episodes, and then you can kind of start to roll. There are anomalies in the situation, like Stranger Things, which we were nuts for before anyone even saw the thing. But a lot of these shows, you have to kind of follow that pattern. And it's so that you get a good beginning, middle, and end. And if it does go on to a second season, you do have enough connection with these characters. It's just really kind of how they have to write shows now. Oh yeah, Ninja buddy. I think I'm gonna do the same thing. I gotta pack up some clothes. I think I'm gonna throw on They Live. We may have to watch this one together, brother. Ninja saying that he just watched Last Jedi and he's about to watch They Live. Love that movie. Um, yeah, I heard that too, Luna, saying that Bray Wyatt should join Sanity. Martin and I recently talked about this, and I actually wanted a little bit differently. Just quick wrestling talk. Sorry, guys. Um, I would like, because they're clearly playing the black side and white side, the man in black, the man in white, with Hardy being the man in white, Bray being the man in black. Are they going to take the stand, the Stephen King's The Stand, kind of the man in the desert? Um, do they take that route and then have someone in the middle who's like a neutral and maybe represent all of the chaotic evil versus chaotic good versus justice, blah blah blah? Will they put together that diagram? I think that would really work. Bringing in someone like Nikki Cross would be really awesome. I guess we'll see. Yeah, Sanity is better on their own, but I think Nikki Cross should go with Bray and Matt. Yeah, definitely don't want that. What else were we looking at? I was talking about something else here. What are we watching? We're watching that. Yeah, Lost in Space looks really good, though. I did just watch the first probably 15 minutes of the first episode, and it got me. I love the technology. I like the way it looks. It's going to stand up. I think it's going to be really, really good. What are we listening to? As always, guys, I'm listening to podcasts. That seems to be, as I'm always kind of moving around, it's a thing I can just keep going. Just listen to the new How Did This Get Made? As always, The Dollop. Uh, I've been kind of listening to the same things. Some wrestling podcasts because I haven't had a chance to really watch too much wrestling. So it's easier to just listen to the podcast. I listen to Wrestle Talk with Ali Davis. I really enjoy. And Luke Owen and what's the other one? Wrestle Ramble. Steve Larson and Steven Larson. So those are my two favorites. What am I watching? Let's see, listening to. Not really reading much of anything. I did get the Amazon Comixology app. I really do like it. I think it was like $4.99 a month, and you get to read all these comics. There's a ton of stuff from Boom. So Power Ranger stuff is on there, and the WWE comics are on there. There's also a ton of other things. So I'd say I think there's like a 14-day trial. It's definitely worth checking it out. I buy myself. I do not watch The Walking Dead, Jacob Luna. I haven't watched it in a while. Stopped watching it. The season finale, the Negan season finale, where everyone was lined up and who did he hit? I stopped there. I'm happy they had balls. I'm happy they did it. But that was about it. That's kind of where I left it. Got kind of sick of the Where's Carl show, and then it got real boring there for a little stretch. I'm a loyalist to the comic books, so I had already felt like we had dealt with so much story changing that for all of the things that they changed in the story to have episodes that dragged really upset me because you look back and go, well, if you would have just done this, you could be doing this now instead. And I just decided, you know what, I'm done. So as I hear that Invincible might become a show, I don't want that. Please, I don't want that. When Preacher became a show, I don't want that either, guys. Please don't, but they're going to do it. They don't care what I think. I'm just an idiot talking to a cell phone. So, but yeah, I did enjoy it quite a bit, and I actually read today there's a ton of Easter eggs in it, connecting the Walter White's Breaking Bad universe with the Walking Dead universe, and Easter egging it out where it looks like they to the point where they're playing the Walter White's theme in certain parts of Walking Dead. The blue meth shows up at one point. They talk about Jesse Pink. Was it Pinkman? I think his last name was Jesse Pinkman. They talk almost specifically about this character. They do so many things where it's like clearly they're telling us something. So let's go over here to the chat. It's below the camera, so sorry guys if it looks like I'm looking down. Yeah, Newest Dollop was really, really good. I really did enjoy it. LA Confidential was added to Netflix. Watch that. LA Confidential might be one of my favorite movies. It's definitely in the top 20 somewhere. Um, Tim Beavis and I had probably saw that in the theater a good 5 times. And I just realized that when I had bought the Blu-ray that it comes with a soundtrack. So you get all that really great music that was in the film. So definitely check that out. I think it was only $5 on Amazon. Okay, so Trevor Frick's asking, have I read any of the Power Rangers Shattered Grid? The promo work they've done has got me interested in checking it out. Yeah, so, oh, hey, Mommy, or Nana T just signed in. So, is Shattered Grid, that's the one with JDF is back. He's, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Whew, gonna sneeze. Whew, excuse me. So, I believe Shattered Grid is the one where JDF is the half Green Ranger, half White Ranger, and he's got like that really awesome helmet and the cool gold on the gold and green. I think it looks great. I think that he's kind of a bad actor. No, he's really a bad actor. This could be better with him if he was better. um, but I still think it's going to be awesome. Since when has the Power Rangers needed a good actor? It kind of is what it is. This is going to be great, though. I'm pretty excited, and I think they had revealed a little bit of this in that the app game that they were pushing at NYCC this year. So, has anybody seen anything from Shattered Grid that they're interested in? Please throw it in the chat. Yeah, man. Ellie Martin saying that LA Confidential is one of his absolute favorite movies, and I agree. I love the moment. Hey, spoilers on a 20-year-old movie. Just the reveal at the end when you realize kind of when someone catches, you get caught into a lie and you don't realize that you're stuck within a certain web, and it's just really, really, really good and said so much about the LAPD. Honestly, at that time. Speaking of the dollop, going back, they did a there was a 3 or 4 piece about the LAPD from its start until recently. One of the most insane stories, where it started, how it's going is just nuts. Definitely check it out. Favorite Power Ranger series. So for me, I just got to go with the regular one, and that is honestly primarily because I'm a Sentai fan. I actually don't really watch too much Power Rangers. I like the original lineup. I like when they became Power Rangers in space. I'll go as far as Zeo, and then I really kind of lose it. Didn't like the costumes, didn't like the stories. They all started to become muddled because they were moving from series to series in the Sentai universe. They were just kind of taking and really stripping away a lot of the story that was from those Sentai series. So going back and watching them and realizing the differences and really how superior they are compared to the Power Rangers, I just kind of gave up on Power Rangers. But the toys are great. I love the Sentai figure arts. I've got the pop figures. I've got all the stuff, but it just it doesn't really do it. Power Rangers in Space, yeah, that was pretty good. Chris is a Kamen Rider fan. I like Kamen Rider Decade. Is really really Kamen Rider Decade is one of my favorites. It's a really weird, like, sometimes it gets this weird, like, avant-garde style filmmaking. It's definitely worth a look. And it had run side by side with Shinkenger, Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. That is one of my favorites. ClassicGold is probably one of the coolest out there. I'd say, though, my favorite, and I'm gonna end. Let's see, push up your imaginary glasses when you say superior. Thank you very much. Now, I guess I'll end the contest now. Nobody guessed it. Nobody knew it. The answer to who is my favorite Sentai Ranger, and that is the Gokai Yellow. She is great. Luca Malfi. She's a pirate's pirate. Absolutely love the character. Definitely go check her out. But I think that is my favorite, and that is Gokaiger. Kamen Rider Black was one of my favorites. Dystopian 80s Evil Corporation as the bad guy. Absolutely. Kamen Rider Black is really awesome. There's some really good stuff. I just think the American versions that we got were so watered down, and we looked at them as a joke. Whereas you go over to Japan, they're looked at seriously. And if you view them that way, it's just that much better. Definitely worth. Kairi Sane is my favorite pirate. I love that she was a pirate before she came to NXT, and they just didn't dump that gimmick on her. That really is what she is. The figure is gonna be great for that. I can't wait to get it. What video did you say? Would you say I had never found it? Oh, geez. Okay, so I think I had said it originally, going way, way back, to the Akiba Underground live episode. I think that was like episode 6 or 7. I believe I mentioned it there. I mentioned it in episode 8, I want to say, for the live show, and then randomly, I believe, throughout different Power Rangers segments. But I've definitely said it a bunch of times. I actually, Chris had asked me why, and actually there's one episode in particular where everyone believes that the Sentai should be there to protect everybody, but these people are pirates with Sentai powers. They never agreed to anything, so she is effectively saving this girl from a monster, from a kaiju, but then charging her father as she does it. The father owns the jewelry store, so to block every punch, she'll block the punch and go, okay, 10,000, or I let go and he's gonna hit your daughter, and he agrees to 10,000, and then she'll block another punch, and go, yeah, now it's 30, and she just kept upping it, and then totally wipes the dude out, takes all the money, saves his daughter, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was the money. She really sticks to it. Just such an awesome, awesome character. And Chris is saying here, going into the chat, he says it when he introduces himself to you. Yeah, pretty much. I think I say in one of our NYCC videos too. I may end up going in with the funniest cosplay ever, just being Gokai Yellow with my gut hanging out, my beard sticking out of the bottom of the mask. Yeah, it'll be a disaster. Totally worth watching. So, yeah, Shinken Gold would be my number 2. I would definitely say that. And then number 3, I really like Geki from Zoo Ranger. Although Black Condor from Jetman is really good. Definitely worth... Oh, God. Chris occasionally likes this, too, is the old 60s and 70s style of kaiju. If you get a chance to even listen to the theme for Jetman, listen to it. Sentai Jetman. I can't remember what the first word was. I think it's cow... Doesn't matter. Jetman. Totally worth it. Let me see. It'll be a nice guy. I'll throw it here into the chat. Yeah, dude, Battle of the Planets is awesome. Let's see. I'm going to go get the link here for the Jetman theme. You guys can go check this out, I guess, after the video. I don't really care. Go listen to it during. It is absolutely worth it. He's not going to let me put a link in here. Let's see. There we go. So there's the Jetman link. It's really, really great. Yeah, I totally made Chris listen to this one. It is so bad. But honestly, I love the this is before they would do a combiner robot. So it's these individual Falcons. If you watch, there's an episode of Key and Peele where they kind of make a joke about how how racist the layout of these teams always is, and they have the different Falcons. That's actually kind of from Jetman. So, yeah, Blue Ranger and Turbo was pretty stupid. I gotta agree. Yes, the Jetman uniforms are great. The episodes are really good too because you actually do have the main guy. He is he's like the goody guy, kind of the jet fighter and all that stuff. Then he has the girl, and the girl loves him. And then there's the bad boy, but the bad boy's in love with the girl, and he's trying to win her. So you actually do have a story going on there, and deaths. People die in that one. It's really dark. It's absolutely worth checking out. Yeah, me and Chris, I think we sat here for like a good, 30 minutes, and they played every theme to the the Sentai. We were also, though, however, that's kind of the thing, is so with Sentai, when these things come out in Japan, sometimes these theme songs really do hit their Billboard charts and really start to like get high up in the charts. I think the Shinkenger was seriously like number 3 on their charts or something crazy like that. Like, it plays on the radio, so really awesome music, especially as they get later on. I think after Shinkenger, it gets really, really, really good. Um, any good sales? Have you guys seen anything good? I really have been kind of strapped to my desk lately. Haven't really had a chance to get out and do much. So, any good sales you guys been finding? I know that Martin had told me that at Ollie's, the Ollie's discounters, and they're all over the place. There are $4 um, for Loot Crate T-shirts. One of them is the half White Ranger, half Green Ranger shirt. I think there was the Outer Space Christmas, and there was a few other ones. Okay, so I think Jacob Luna must have went over and listened to the. You must have listened to Jetman. That is so awesome. Yeah, Jetto man. That's awesome. No, dude, definitely check out Shinkenger. It's very Japanese pop. It's so beautiful. So what do we got? Listening to, reading, watching. Yeah, no, I think we got everything. I'm not really doing much. X Files Optimus Prime. Yeah. Yeah, Jetman. What's great is that the Jetman song is very much like it's a huge trope for the style of when you think in your head like Japanese theme music from that era. It is exactly what you think it is. It's really really great. Yeah, man. Oh, that's the other part. Sorry, not sorry, guys. It's stuck in your head. You know why it's stuck in your head? Because it's stuck in my head too. I didn't even watch it. It's just playing. All I can hear is that Jetto man. It's all I can hear. Oh man, so good. All right, guys. So hey, I'm gonna sign off here. We'll be back here on Wednesday. We'll be make some announcements, doing some more talking, showing some more toys. We'll see what I got on my road trip here. Again, not really gonna be a fun road trip, but hopefully we do got to stretch our legs occasionally. So hopefully we can do it at a toy store. Um, Please